So welcome everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's sharing of Harmonize to Energize, Friday, 16th of September, 2022. My name is Terry Matthews. I'm a practitioner of JIN SHIN JYUTSU and spent 20 years working for JIN SHIN JYUTSU Incorporated, which became Mary Burmeister JIN SHIN JYUTSU more recently, and now I am self-employed or an independent contractor, as they call them in America. So welcome you all. I hope you've had a good week, and I hope today is equally good. So for those of you that are particularly new, just a brief introduction to the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU. JIN SHIN JYUTSU is an art of harmonizing life energy, sometimes called chi or ki, as it moves or not congruently through our bodies. And we do that by placing our hands, palms of our hands, fingers, back of our hands, thumbs, on what we call safety energy locks. These are like locks in the canal. They control the quantity and the speed at which energy can move congruently through the body. When they are all in harmony, we are in harmony, soul, heart, mind, and body. When they're not, the opposite is true. So there are many flows in the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU, and you can study them further, but the foundation for JIN SHIN JYUTSU is self-help. Jiro Marai, the teacher that taught, the teacher that came to the West, Mary Burmeister, worked on himself before he worked on others. So self-help is the foundation of JIN SHIN JYUTSU. And when we do any kind of energy work in a group, that energy is magnified. But we should also consider not just the quantity, but the quality. So just pause for a minute and notice what you're thinking, or possibly more accurately, what you're feeling. Because those thoughts generate energy impulses around your environment and connect with everybody else in your environment, everything else, as well as beyond your immediate environment. We don't know how many thousands of different galaxies and universes there might be, but light, sound travel at tremendous speeds, and they connect in different frequencies and wavelengths in different dimensions. So to be conscious of how we are and what we're thinking is very important. So notice that. And if there is some discomfort anywhere in your body, JIN SHIN JYUTSU uses the principle of exhale first before inhale. And Mary taught 4 sets of 9 exhalation inhalations in order to bring into being this frequency of ending whatever's happening to bring in something new. In a way that mirrors the idea of the exhale, letting go in order to build something new, and then inhaling to purify what you've just built. Sounds complex, simply complicated, complicated simply, but in fact, breathing is the most natural thing we can do. And numbers are a law of the universe. And if we experiment with numbers, we may find that they assist us in coming into harmony with natural law. So for the past 3 weeks, we have been talking about the energy locks that mirror the bust line, waistline, and hip line regions of the body. And I'm just going to share my screen. Hopefully this week you will get to see the image. Yeah, here it is. There is the image where you can see how our bodies are subdivided from the head to the feet into bust line, waistline, and hip line. Those three lines actually on the torso represent bust line, waistline, hip line, but the subdivisions of three in the numbers also as well. So we covered 20, 21, 22, 13, 14, 15, and then we went to the arm for high 19, 19, 17, and 18. And these are mirroring, by and large, except for safety energy lock 17 there, descending safety energy locks. They're bringing the energy down. Now today, we're going to go a little further down to the ones and variations of the ones and the 8 and the 5 and 16s. I'm going to start, well, the bus line region on this map here is high 1, which is your thigh. That's high 1. And that really opens up the bus line. Anyone that's ever had a coughing fit may have noticed that holding the high 1s can really calm that, can really harmonize it. The 1s, which are actually the center of the knee, the inside of the leg, known as the prime mover of energy. And then the 8s at the back here, you can see, well, it's the back of your knee actually. Here, the energy is going up, but it still acts as a correlation. We can hold 1 with 8 to mirror the waistline. And then as we go down to the feet, safety energy lock 5, which is on the under the inside ankle bone, and safety energy lock 16, 5 being descending, 16 being ascending, representing here the hip line. So we've got bust line, waistline, and hip line. And if you remember, I talked about how Mary always created an escape route for the energy because she wanted to make sure that when we moved energy from a point above, that it didn't have any obstacles as it moved below. So to clear the last safety energy lock in a flow pattern to help the energy descend, or to clear the last safety energy lock in the arm to help the energy descend, was a technique that she used to help us allow the energy to move unobstructedly. So if we look at it in terms of the feet, that would be at the hip line, the 5 and the 16. Now, if you're very flexible, you can hold your ankles both together. And if you're a bit of a yogi or a yogini, you can do that. So it's under the ankle bone. But for those of you that might struggle with that, it may be far easier for you to hold your thumb with your index finger. And then as we move up to the waistline, the 1 and the 8, that's relatively easy because you're just going to be holding the inside of your knee, and you can, the thumb there and the fingers at the back of the knee to get the 8, left or right. And then the high ones, your thighs, highest thigh in this case. All right. Hopefully that's all reasonably clear to everyone. So again, we're going to release the hip line first. And for those of you that can't hold both your ankles simultaneously, you got index finger for 5 will help the open safety energy lock 5, and thumb will help open 16. It will also help open 1, by the way. But I think most of us can grab our 1s. But if you can't, say something to me, or remember that the 1s are the thumb. All right, so we'll begin, and we'll do this in 4 sets of 9 exhalation inhalations. And an exhalation in JIN SHIN JYUTSU is allowing energy as it comes in at safety energy lock 4, which is the window that lets in more energy or light, the occiput, down, up over the head and then down the front of the body to safety energy lock 15, then down further to your big toe, safety energy lock 7, that's the exhale. Mary said, from dog to God, man's best friend to man's best friend, because those letters are the 4th and 15th and 7th letters of the alphabet. So if that helps you remember it, from man's best friend to man's best friend, dog to God. Because we then go from the big toe back up through that 15 area, but in fact, it's more the 2, which is at the back of the hip, 15 and 2, if you like, and then all the way back up the spine to the 4, when it then begins the journey again. And the journey is in a positive spiral down and up. I used to think it would naturally go anti-clockwise, but I've since realized and learned from other people that in the universe of harmony, the energy always spirals in a clockwise direction. All right. So sit up as straight as you can. And just, if you need a cush to support your back, then just put a cush on your sit bone or by your toes. And just relax by dropping the shoulders, exhaling, and just allowing that energy to come into the 4, the window that lets in more light. As you breathe out, moving down to the 15, through to the 7, and then 7, 15, 4, holding 5 and 16 if you can, or these 2 fingers, index and thumb. You can hold them like this, with the thumb over the top, with the fingers behind, left or right. If you're going to hold the fingers or the safety energy locks, you can check each side to see which one appears to be more tender. And generally speaking, you'll find that on the sides of the fingers when you're working with the fingers. And that'll give you some clue of where perhaps the major blockage is at the moment. All right, so holding whatever you've chosen to hold, just close your eyes. Make sure you're not disturbed. Stun your cell phone. Make sure if the cat wants to be in the room, that it's he or she is happily just nestling somewhere. And let's drop it. Hello?
Sorry, I was late. Did you start? What should I hold? Can you resume, please?
I'm just starting. It's 5 and 16, so safety lock 5 and 16, which are on either side of the ankle. 5 is on the inside, 16 is on the out. Then it's going to be safety energy lock number 1, and then high 1. And that's going from hip line through waistline to bust line. But as I said, some people may not be able to stretch to the 5 and 16, so you can hold index for 16, for 5, and thumb for 16. Is that clear? Okay, let's begin. And there's no particular way of breathing out or in terms of through the mouth, on nose, and through the nose, out through the mouth, whatever. It's what comes naturally to you. So let us begin, and we'll do this hip line hold for 9 exhalation inhalations. Here we go. And just relax. And it helps to imagine sometimes that you're in a lift or an elevator and your shoulders are moving down, down, down with the elevator all the way down to the feet. You're almost like concertina. Just really let go. And then receive the breath on the inhale. And that is receiving cosmic purified energy, which is moving any restrictions up the back through the energy pathways and safety energy locks. Okay, 8 more times. And as the energy moves, just notice how well it may be traveling or not. Those are areas probably where you're more blocked. And see if you can feel your connection to the earth through the toes. The earth is going to take away unnecessary energy. That energy you no longer need, at least. And then receive that breath. And for those of you completely new to JIN SHIN, we're listening for a pulsation, which is the same as the pulse you would hear on the radial artery of the wrist, the blood pulse, which is actually reflecting the energy movement or not. But do not worry if you do not feel the pulse straight away. The blockages within the pathways will prevent us feeling the pulse clearly for a while until they clear. So you're on a journey. And in this, well, you could, I suppose, look upon it as some kind of bulldozer. It's just gradually chipping away, or a laser beam, gradually moving blockages. And these blockages are at the soul, the heart, the mind, and the body. Or bust line, waistline, and hip line. Bust line represents soul, heart, waistline, mind, hip line, body. Or thinking, speaking, and acting. So just let go of all your concerns, your anxieties, your frustrations, maybe your sadness, maybe some fears. Just let them go. Because in this moment, this is an opportunity to expand your consciousness. And if we're holding on, we're blocking that. And stopping ourselves from the potential of seeing a bigger picture. And in the bigger picture, we can, or we could, resolve whatever is concerning us. You may notice when you feel blocked, that it's like you feel contraction in the heart. JIN SHIN being an art of compassion, we feel how the energy is moving. And when the energy is moving well, we may feel expansion in the heart. Good indications, good signals. So 5 and 16 working together, regeneration, putting off the old and the new, and welcoming the new, transformation, breaking down the old. That's what we can do regularly on every exhale. And then inhale. So when you reach the 9th exhalation, inhalation, just pause, go into what I call the neutral zone, and just observe how you're feeling and thinking. As I said at the beginning, it's okay that we're in a fairly large group of people. We're increasing the magnitude of the field of energy and vibration, but the quality is equally important. So if your mind is all over the place with disharmonious thoughts, negative thinking, you are reducing the effectiveness of the practice. So for those of you that struggle with your mind, most people do, and the finger holds or everything are beginning to move the energy, but your mind is still spinning out of control. JIN SHIN JYUTSU is an art of compassion, so be gentle with yourself, but think of a positive phrase or word or mantra that resonates with you, and particularly the heart. So it could be compassion, or it could be joy, or it could be love, it could be wisdom, it could be happiness. And just let that thought begin to percolate in your consciousness. And sooner or later, the less harmonious thought will transform. All right, so the second set of 9 exhalation inhalations. We're working at the waistline, remember, for the next step of the journey. And we're going to go to safety energy lock number 1, inside of the knees. All right, and you can hold right hand on right inside knee, left on left inside knee, or you can do what I prefer to do, cross the hands, which allows mediation between left and right, crossover, which tends to move the energy from side to side a lot quicker. So we're going to hold the ones, and if you can't hold the ones, hold your thumbs. Choose which side you want to hold if that's the case. I'm going to hold both ones. More bang for your buck, if you like. And you might find a particular tender spot on the ones. It's a good place to place your thumb or your fingers or your palms or your back of your hand. And then once more, drop shoulders, exhale. Relax from the 4s through the 15s to the 7s. And then back up, 7, 15, 2, 4. Let us begin. Ones are the prime movers. So whenever you feel stuck, whatever that may manifest as, mental, physical, emotional, you could always hold your ones. Simple enough. Mary Burmeister said holding the ones for an hour a day for a year could clear all your soul, heart, mind, body blockages. So the energy is going to go down and through the ones to the sevens and beyond the sevens, actually, to the earth beneath. Down, 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 maybe to the crystalline layer of the earth, where there is purified energy. And as you inhale, you're bringing up that energy from the earth and 360 degrees basically all around you. Up the back, cleaning out the energy centers. Where it meets the energy coming in at the fours. We go back down once more. And I would encourage you, if you have a lot of concerns and you feel overwhelmed, this conscious practice of exhalation, holding the ones, could be very, very useful to you. And stick into it. And don't square your head into, well, Terry said or someone said just 36 breaths. No, you can do as many multiples of 9 as you wish in order to feel the pulse, the energy locks, and to note the change in your thinking and feeling. It's your life, not mine. We have a few guidelines, but you are your own artist, your own testimony, as Mary would say, so be your own testimony. I believe we're moving away from an era when follow my leader was the mind. We're now moving toward following our heart. Follow your heart. And the more pure your heart is, the more likely you will follow nature's way, the natural course of growth and evolution. And just letting go of all the concerns that you don't really need to hold on to. Your mind's a processor, let it do its job. Connect with your heart. And your heart will connect with your soul. And your soul gets in the driving seat instead of the mind. So as you continue to let go, you're creating more space in order to grow, expand and grow. More energy can come in, more blockages can be transformed, and there's a greater possibility that you will find harmony, peace, balance, all those helpful qualities, evolutionary qualities. And as you come to the 9th exhalation, inhalation, again slip into the neutral zone, and once more observe how you're feeling and thinking, and maybe where you're feeling something, maybe some discomfort, or maybe you're feeling very much more freed up. Yay, that's a good thing. And again, don't become anxious if you still feel quite blocked. It just means that practice, the more you practice, the more you progress. And be compassionate with yourself. Maybe you need to actually get a JIN SHIN JYUTSU treatment from a practitioner, either locally or remotely, to help you with the jumper cabling process. Okay, the bus line segment of today's practice is the high ones. And again, thigh level, left or right. You can hold them right on right, left on left, but I, as you know, cross over. Hold the thigh, hamstring area. Sit up. Drop shoulders. Maybe a smile is beginning to emerge. And breathe out. All the way down. Head to toes, skin to bone. And then inhale, toes to head. And here we are at the bus line. And if you did some good work with the 5 and 16, energy should be flowing, could be flowing unobstructedly. And that's what we like. That's what the body likes. That's what the cells like. It's actually what the mind likes, you know, the heart and the soul. It's not so much perfection as greater awareness. We're allowing greater awareness. We're allowing the energy to heal and harmonize where we've obstructed, mainly due to our thinking, our emotional responses to our environment. Sometimes people say to me, oh, I can't feel energy. And like I said, you can continue practicing 9 exhalation inhalations. But at the thought level, you can transform that I can't feel energy And you can ask a question like, who am I? Or I wonder who I am. And the universe will respond. At the subtlest level, you are energy. So maybe just asking that question will create a stronger connection between you and the energy field. Who am I? And these thoughts of not good enough, can't do this, oh, another thing that I'm stuck on, change that thought. I wonder how I can feel more energy. Turn it into a question. And from the question becomes a more positive charge, a transformational, more harmonious pattern of energy begins to form. And you become curious, perhaps like you were when you were a babe in arms, a little child, wanting to know stuff. What's this? What's that? Feeling your way around. A return to the innocence. Feel the connection between your feet, toes, and the earth. Mother Earth is really nourishing and supporting us, whether we're always aware of it or not. So it's quite a privilege to stand and have your being on this plane, on this planet. We really are looked after. And the more we expand our consciousness, we could become aware of just how we are looked after by nature. The birds, the bees, the trees, and the monkeys. Well, it's not necessarily true. So the birds, the bees, and the trees. And again, when you've reached the 9th exhalation, inhalation, slipping into neutral, becoming the witness, observer, 27 breaths on. Who are you now? Where are you now? Where's your thoughts? And then the last set of 9 exhalation inhalations, we give ourselves a hug to the bus line again, with the thumbs underneath the shoulder girdle and the fingers to the side of the shoulder blade, reminding ourselves that JIN SHIN JYUTSU is an art of compassion, Now, thinking can lead us into that frequency, particularly as we activate safety energy locks at the bus line. 22 and 26 here. Expanding the lungs, connecting to 144,000 special function, all complete. 26, here we go. 9 exhalation inhalations. If holding both is tricky, take one away and put that hand on the high one. Or 15. And the deeper you can go into the bus line, heart, lung, thinking, level, dynamic, the greater chance you have of transforming the rest of your body. The rest of your life. Letting go, building something new, purification, harmonization. So as you reach the 9th exhalation inhalation, once more, just observe, just notice again how and where you're feeling, thinking. And then just be present to the energy within you and without you. Now, I'm kind of curious, did anyone ask, or felt they need to ask, I wonder who I am or where I am, or any variation on that, and did it make any difference? Did they feel energy that they didn't feel before? Doesn't matter if you didn't. It's just a suggestion. Some of us are very involved in our minds. We're very mental plane individuals. And those kinds of things help us. Some of us are very much in our hearts, and so feeling is going to be uppermost. So just experiment. Okay. So we reach that point where we have the opportunity to share some of the energy that we've, if you like, accumulated or allowed to come into our space. It's probably a better word. Expanded our consciousness. And so I invite anyone who's either had a birthday, got a birthday. I think we're still in the astrological constellation of Virgo. So if there's any Virgos who were too shy to mention their birthday last week, now's your chance this week. Or is there anyone who has a particular, excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. Anyone got a particular project, as Mary would call them, that you would like some support with? And then you can say, yay, they do. Anyone? All quiet on the Zoom front? Who's that?
Rita.
Rita?
Yes. I'd like to get some energy because I'm having a hard recovery from COVID, going down to the depression and fight against this. And it would be very nice to, the exercise today were pretty good because I was facing the fear. So thank you. And but if I can receive more energy.
So do you mind if I spotlight you?
Oh, you can.
Okay.
It's okay.
There you are. So welcome. So everybody, this is that opportunity where we, as I say, we get to share our container of energy, which we've received. And for what we have received, we are hopefully truly grateful. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, the universe, for supporting us, regenerating us, rejuvenating us, harmonizing us. And now we get the chance to serve. Nature is always serving us, right? Trees give us oxygen. Sorry, they let go of carbon dioxide and give us oxygen. I've got a twitchy nose. Nature shows us symbiotically how everybody helps everybody else, or everything, or every being. So here is our chance, because in the human world, sometimes our mind gets in the way, or our emotions, and we don't want to help for whatever reason, or we don't feel we can help. Well, we got our two hands, or if we don't have a hand, we've got the energy field. The thought process, I believe, that always helps us is, I wonder what I can do to help. Even if you don't think you can, I wonder what. And maybe the universe will go, well, you could do that. Had you thought of that? So, Rita, if you want to place your hands in your lap in the 15s, palms up, if that's comfortable. And everybody else, let us begin with our palms facing Rita. You can touch your thumbs, and we can imagine that we're connecting little finger to little finger, which is the heart and small intestine finger. inner circle of light, and we're going to jumper cable that light. We're going to allow the universe to continue to add to us through the 12th thoracic vertebrae, and we're going to allow that energy to go to Rita. And actually, it will go to her, circulate through her, and come back to us. It's a good deal, isn't it? Here we go. Let us begin. Breathing out, release, let go, share, serve. Okay, there'll come a point where you will feel that the energy now wants to just consolidate. It's made the connection, it's released a quantity and quality and connected to our client, to Rita in this case. And now you can just, for yourself, to the universe, express gratitude, thank you, and just relax and place your hands in your 15s. Yeah. So Rita.
Thank you, everybody. It was an amazing experience because I felt the pulsation all around my body and a very strong heat between the waist and bust line. And this heat, and after a while, there was a refreshing energy going up to down. And I could feel the light. The seventh depth was very dark, and suddenly it becomes light. I saw the light again. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you for being willing to share with us the project and being a willing recipient. So before I close the session, I'm just going to share the screen once more and let you know that tomorrow, those of you that love animals, there's a 2-hour webinar presented by Adele Lees, and it's how you can talk to animals even better. You can learn to listen. And so that's going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. New York time. And if you feel a connection with animals, maybe you can talk to them, or maybe you want to just have that experience with a group of people. Adele will have videos, I think, of horses, maybe even dogs. She probably will have some of her pals with her furry friends. And it looks as though it's just me, but I know someone else is helping out. So if that's what you want to do, register there. Oh, that's happened. That was self-help. October the 14th, Sarah's doing the art of being a practitioner in Talent, Oregon. And that looks to be live. And you can go and register there. If you've missed a class, click on any of these links and you can get the replays. Talking of which, for 3 months, talking of which, there will be a replay of this session as soon as I get to it. But it's a new link which you've got on the email I sent. So, okay.